Welcome to the 20th hole at Breezy Bay. My name is Adam.
Hey, I'm Steven.
Hey, Steven! What's going
How's it
on
going?
there?
I'm trying to inject a little energy into the show. Sometimes I think we sound a little down.
Right. Well, that's because it just mirrors the way I play golf. So that's why I am down. It's amazing. We're doing 2 shows in a matter of 2 weeks. How is that possible? How is that possible? Did you get canned from your job now and working at the gazebo full time after the last episode, or are you still working?
Well, I read about making certain things a priority in your life.
Right. And
That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
so you just read about that and that's
I
it.
just read about it. I saw it, but then I was just too busy to keep reading the whole thing about what the rest of the priorities were.
I understand.
Well,
Uh,
we've had some more time because the weather recently has taken a turn for the worst.
Worst. Is it worse or worst?
Well,
Worser?
worse?
Worsest?
No, it's not worstest, but worse. Take a turn for the worst. But I think it's just the worst now because it's just the worst.
Right.
I
It is.
believe global climate change, and anybody who says it's not real
Come to
doesn't.
Breezy Bay and listen to us complain about not being able to play golf, and then you'll see how real it is.
Right. Just in that, I would sign a new Green Deal just to not listen to us whine. That might be the greatest threat to humanity is our podcast.
That should be the incentive to get things going. Is that what you're saying? We should use
Yes.
this as evidence number one as to why it should be signed. Otherwise, you're
Right.
going to have to listen to us nasally whine about having not being able to play golf.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good to
So,
me.
yes. I mean, sometimes it's just a simple answer. Yes.
How is your push cart going? Are you still being charged after last episode, or what's going on?
I think the toll fee is going up. Now they're charging me for a push cart, even when I don't take it because I've been complaining.
Right. So
I,
you're just charged whenever you walk onto. You're charged when you walk onto the grounds, basically.
there's a fee for me putting the push cart in my car to bring it to the course now.
Right.
There's a handling fee plus
So,
tax.
so they get you at your house. Do they charge you per mile that you have to drive from your house to bring it to Breezy Bay?
I have a storage fee inside my house, my push cart.
Is that
And if
more
I
than the
pull it,
bag
it's a
fee
separate.
or less than the bag fee at this point?
It's the same now. There's no difference now. It's kind of like if you were to try and cut your cable,
Right.
all you get is 7,000 bills that add up to saving you 8 cents.
So, right. So, is there somebody at your house who actually takes it out for you for this charge? Do they have somebody drive it over and put it in the car for you, or do you have to do that yourself also?
I do it myself, but there's a personal handling fee,
Right. So they
which,
charge you to do it yourself.
right. And then because I drive it, then there's a fee on that fee. And then when you add them all up, then there's the tax plus the surcharge for
Right.
using that.
So
So
basically, your bill is about double of what everybody else at Breezy Bay is paying at this point
because I choose to walk
because you choose to walk
and push my bags.
and pull.
I can't pull.
Push? Maybe
Push.
they would charge you less if you pulled rather than pushed.
Can I go backwards?
Yes. Play
You know,
from whatever hole number new 18 is and play from the green back and go backwards that way.
should I? Well, I mean, if I were to tee off from the green, it might not look any different than when some of the members get done on the green.
By shuffling and or hitting and or dropping clubs and or spitting and or not
Even
repairing ball marks. Have I covered
cigars,
everything yet? Oh, cigars, I
cigars.
forgot.
Right.
Yes. No, I haven't covered everything yet. So, perfect. So, we have what else is going on at Breezy Bay? We have
Well,
tournaments to recap. Quite a few tournaments have gone on since the beginning of the season. Uh, we've participated in some and kept our record intact by finishing in the bottom half,
true. We did not finish dead last, though.
which is really miraculous. I want to pat
Well,
ourselves on the back, but I just threw out my shoulder trying to do that. So,
you don't try it. Your age, you're just gonna pull and hurt something.
right.
Yeah, well, we did have a new member as our A player.
Hmm.
He was you know, the new player, new member with A player.
Right. Who hit the
Um,
ball 400 yards and we would marvel at it and then we would screw up his drive for
Right.
a bogey, double bogey / triple bogey as we went along the way.
Well, the good news though is at least he's realized he never wants to play with us again. It's supposed to have camaraderie, but
And how long do you think into the round that he realized it? Was it hole by new hole number 1, new hole number 12?
I think it was by the third hole in. He looked completely demoralized, like he'd already given up hope. You know, just he just knew.
Well, when you put on a par 4 your drive 50 yards from the hole and still manage to get a triple bogey, I can understand why.
You know, I think we would have been better off just playing alternate shot because by the fourth shot it would have been his and he could have helped.
At that point, I think he was heavily drinking, though, even though it was 8 o'clock in the morning.
It's 8 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere,
Right.
and it was 5 o'clock on the third hole.
It was way later than 5 o'clock at that point.
Uh,
We should have
yeah.
enjoyed the buffet starting then.
Thank you. Enjoy the buffet. You knew we weren't going to win, right? I mean, you knew after the first hole we were already out of it.
Right. Yeah, but I
So,
know that usually that's better because it's prior to teeing off that I think I'm out of it. At least it was the first hole that made me
well,
realize we were out of it at this
I
point.
mean, not to segue into yet another tournament, but I think we need to tell everybody that speaking of knowing you're out of it on the first hole, I think we need to jump right to the, tournament for the senior Met Net tournament that we play in locally.
You mean the one where my hands were shaking because I was the first person to tee off and there were 40 people around, and I duffed my first one into the rough and then my second one onto the driving range, which was a 90-degree angle away from the tee box? Is that what you're referring to?
Well, I wasn't going to say that over and over again, but yes. And at that point, the pressure had already mounted on me to like a boiling point where I felt like I was going to soil myself.
Did you?
So
Did you
maybe,
soil yourself?
maybe.
Wow.
It was a warm day, so you never know. Again, I mean, we talk a lot about food on this show,
Right.
but the continental breakfast, I don't know what continent that came from because they call it continental. I don't know why. It always sounds like it's going to be, fancy.
Well, let me ask, what continent does a stale croissant come from? Is that from alternate France or France on, in Bizarro World, or what happens? Because that's
I
what I
think
had.
that was right after the German invasion during World War II, where they couldn't get enough to make fresh croissants.
Right.
Should I go croissant or croissant?
Croissant.
Croissant. Croissant?
Croissant. We want to be classy on this show.
Well, it is continental breakfast, right?
Right.
So the croissant. Um, I didn't eat one of those, but I did have the. It was really weird because I guess everything was old because the fruit had ripened too. It actually turned into. It was almost so old that it was almost alcoholic.
I was just going to say, it was
Disgusting.
right. It was wine by the time we had it.
Mead, like some of the croissant had
Croiss-
fallen into it.
Croissant. Croissant.
Croissant.
Croissant.
You just too many letters to pronounce. We
Yes.
can't get the R.
Right. Croissant. Croissant.
Croissant.
Quoi.
That's actually, I think, the sound of your shot was that made that sound. Croissant.
Right. I was expelling it from my body as I hit the ball. That was what was happening.
Full confession here for the listeners, though. I will say that even though you did that, we did find your first quote unquote tee shot, and that you finished the hole. It was your score that we used.
That at that point, I knew our fate was sealed. Once we had to use my ball out of the rough. Yes.
I did not. I hit a tree because I did not. The listeners might not know, but there's. It's a good look.
Yeah.
There was a. It's like 3D glasses that Adam is putting on. So.
Better.
Yeah. They.
I get the full effect of you now in 3D. That's why I
You
put
can
them
see
on.
it does my nose like jump out like if I move it doesn't
It does.
change.
Whoa! It almost hit me.
It's the biggest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do
Hashtag.
it.
Say
I'm
it.
not going to do it.
All right. So there's water.
That's what she said. I couldn't resist. Go ahead.
Thank you. I knew you. If I waited long enough, you'd do it. There's water. All you can see is water, and it's like you can't hit it that way. So I aimed a little bit left, and naturally I clipped a branch on the left, and it came down on the side of a lie, and something that looked like, back hair from an old man. It was all mottled, and there were just all these bald spots all over it. And I was trying on my downhill lie not to still put it in the water. That's all you see over there. So I ended up hooking it out of bounds, which ended my first hole experience.
Into a pen that had Cujo. The actual Cujo was in there because that dog went insane
It
whenever
did.
you even walked within 100 yards of it. So yeah, I had to finish up the hole miraculously. Somehow I found my ball. I managed not to put it in the water and on the green, and then four putted for a double bogey, and we walked away.
Right. Beaten, already knowing that the day was over.
And then things proceeded to get better or worse, or basically stayed the same at that
They
point.
got no, they got better from me.
Right. You
I was
finished the second hole, so that was a good thing because I
bogey.
didn't.
I got a bogey, a lot
Right.
of bogeys.
Right.
There was some bad luck on something. Some people say bad luck. Some people could just say that you stink.
Right. Well, the bad luck were the people we were playing with. That was the bad luck. So.
Well, they were really gems.
Right.
You know, you don't get to choose your partner.
Right.
Did we ever talk about that, by the way? Did we ever talk about the new app?
What app?
The new app that we use at Breezy Bay?
No, we haven't. We
Oh
forgot
my
about it on
God.
the last show.
That is brand new. The app is brand new at Breezy Bay.
Right.
And I told Adam he was getting all excited because they are testing a new feature now. It's got the ability when you book a tee time to block people you don't want to play with.
Please, from your mouth to Hashem's ear, that happens because there will be many blocks. I'll be just playing by myself again. It's going to be perfect, the way I like it.
It's like
Block
in your
the
mailbox,
entire
it just
field.
says-
It just
it
should
says
have
delete
select all. That's all.
Yeah, delete all. That's
Right.
all it says. Delete all.
Perfect. That's a special feature I'm having put onto it. I'm going to spend my own money to have the app developed so it can do
I'm
that.
hacking into it just to put that in there. I'm
Perfect.
hiring a series. Forget about cyber attacks and ransomware. I'm just hacking in to add that as a feature where you can just hit delete all.
And then what I'm also going to do is be able to book 3 tee times on either side of me so I don't have to see anybody and pretend there are people there so no one can come and play or do anything. It's perfect.
Huh.
It sounds like my perfect course out in Washington, which I've not yet been able to make. So
Wait, Robert, still waiting for you.
I know. I can't wait. Once I can get to
um,
Canada, I'm booking it. I'm
You
checking.
can charter a boat. I did find a way in.
Okay,
You
which
can
is?
charter a boat now.
Oh, I can?
You could leave out of Vancouver, Washington,
Right.
charter a boat.
Oh, I figured I'd just charter a boat from New York and sail around the world so I can get there. Take my time.
Well, people. I think aren't we getting members? Any of the members getting a new boat?
I have no idea. Is that the new thing?
I don't know. I don't really see people as I can't believe it would be like a sailing kind of boat. It would have to have a motor.
Okay, so I would motor around. Now, would I go all the way down around South America or would I take the Panama Canal?
I'd go with the canal. You don't want to go around the Cape of is it Good Hope down there?
I think isn't Good Hope in Africa or is that in
It
South
might be.
America?
There's a cape down. There's two capes.
I don't know. One of not Cape Cod. It wouldn't be that one.
No, it's not Cape Cod. No.
I
And
don't know.
But it's not good. The weather's not good down there. You'd never make it.
Okay, then I'll go through Panama Canal. So it'll take me, a few weeks or months to get there. Be perfect. I'll be all prime and ready to play at that point.
It'll be into COVID 2,
Right.
the sequel.
Perfect.
Second COVID.
2.0. Right.
I can't wait.
Like Sharknado. So that's it. So we have the new app. You are still paying for pushing, pulling, / fees. And the gazebo still is not up. We're hoping that comes up in the next few weeks because Chuckles, a.k.a. Steven, a.k.a. Hey, it's Steven, will be there.
I'm just saying that, I've been feeling a little bit badly this year. Not about my golf game because there's no recrimination there. I've, found an all-time new low. I found a weak spot. I thought I hit the bottom of the barrel, but now there was a weak spot and I fell through that. But they've revised the menu at the club.
Are you talking about the food menu?
Yes. Yeah. And
I choked down my minimum and get out of there. So what's new on the menu?
well, they actually added what I like to call, my own name dish, the Steven, which is where they have 8,000 chicken fingers as an order now. Like that's called the Steven. And yet I have not had one single chicken finger this year.
Well, we know that's going to change at some point. And don't say no, it's not, because we know it's going to happen.
Why? I'm going to fall off the chicken finger wagon
Exactly.
like the Breezy Bay Colonel's
They're
going to
gonna
come
they're
out with
gonna
a
lure
bucket.
you with honey mustard. You're gonna smell it from somewhere, and you're gonna float like one of those cartoons through the air and wind up at a spot and just say chicken fingers stat.
Don't you? Yeah, I know. I think if you're old enough, you have that vision of like where the nose, you could see the aroma scent, the trail, and you're
Correct.
just breathing it in as you're flying towards the food. Wah!
With
Like
your
a giant
wings
stork.
outstretched. You're right. And so they'll put you down, and then they'll stuff you IV chicken fingers right into you
Can I eat like in a big, like high chair? That'd be
with a little mat underneath it for all the stuff that. Although nothing falls when you eat. Let's face it.
well. If it does, I'm still eating it.
Right.
I don't care where it falls. I'm picking it up.
Right off the ground.
The listeners who don't actually know us might think that I weigh like 700 pounds.
Right. It's not 700.
Not yet. I'm still interviewing for my 600-pound life.
Right. You got to get those John Daly pants I told you that expand out to 50, that you could just unbutton them, stretch them out so you have that giant waistband.
Whatever happened to harem pants?
Oh my God, I love those. I bought mine on West 4th Street in the Village. They used to have that parachute pants store that's now like a brick wall or something right off of 6th Avenue.
How could you? What did you wear those with?
You mean on top or on bottom? I had underpants on because I was always an underpants guy. Is that
Yeah,
what you're talking
I
about?
don't see you as a commando kind of
Right.
guy.
I that was those were my pre-sport jacket days. So I would just do a t-shirt and parachute pants and or an Izod collared shirt and or a polo collared shirt because I did always wear those. So
That's
so
just actually, that
with
sounds hideous. What I mean,
it's
did
hideous. Have you seen how I dress these days? There's no difference.
well, no, you're the same now. You're like the Mark Zuckerberg of golf now.
Right, exactly.
Every day is the same.
It's parachute pants just cut down into shorts. That's all.
It's well, I was wondering where that look came from, but I always thought of like the parachute pants. They had the big, tall collar that would always stick up in the back, one of those science fiction characters.
Right, like the 80s collar up. The
Right?
douchebag
Like
in the 80s movie who you
flock,
hated.
flock of seagulls.
I ran so far away. Isn't that Flock of Seagulls?
Yeah.
Are there any other songs that you know from Flock of Seagulls besides I Ran?
Saved by Zero. Is that flock of
That's the
seagulls?
fix.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That is the fix.
All right, if any of our listeners know any Flock of Seagull songs besides I Ran so far away,
Well, yeah,
please let us know.
they're going to get back to us, but I do. We did get a couple of emails this week.
Uh-huh.
There's actually been some mounting dissatisfaction with parts of our show.
No. What did they
Yes,
say? You're the one who gets the email. I'm too sensitive to read those things.
I know.
Are
I
you going to
always
tell me on air? Because I might start crying.
you won't cry, but it really hangs on me because I'm the one. I'm the protagonist here.
Okay, then I'm not going to cry. What's the complaint about?
Um, I've been swearing that we're going to be doing live episodes from the course,
Right.
and I've gotten 3 angry emails with claiming false promises.
And that's
So,
it? That's what the complaints are about?
well, yeah,
They actually want more of this? Is that what they're complaining about? They want live and more?
they want to see how the magic actually happens.
How we
They
cut up the steak into chuck and filet mignon and stuff like that? Is that what
right.
they want to see?
They also, I mean, there was one too with an eyewitness. They assumed that I'm going to get served with some court order after this past week.
Oh, I'm sure that's going to happen. The
So,
people verse, yes.
yeah.
Well, if that does happen, we will do a live episode. We have a live mic. We're going to bring it out to the course. We're going to do it at a men's league event, and you're going to be able to hear all the shenanigans that go on, and quite frankly, all the stuff that personally I have to deal with at Breezy Bay.
Oh, it's all on you?
Yes,
It's
exactly.
all on your shoulders, Atlas?
Exactly. See me holding
Shrugging?
it up? Holding it up?
Yeah, shrugging. Adam's shrugging.
So that's it. Anyway, I think there might be a break in the weather sometime this week, so I'm going out to play golf. I'm going to stand at the range waiting for it to open, even though I don't go to the range. And that's it. That's this episode of Breezy
have got
Bay.
74 inches of rain since Memorial Day, so
It's perfect. I've got a lot of water balls, so it's good.
listen, you save that dirty talk for the locker room.
How dare you? On that note, that about wraps up this episode of the 20th Hole at Breezy Bay. And as always, my name is Adam.
I'm Steven.
And there he is, Steven. We will see you out on the links, and we will talk to you again soon. Take care.
All right, have a great week, everybody.
Bye.